Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Putri Fikano Fadlia, and today I will present you a module of 3D printer. 10 vocab with its pronunciation, meaning, and one example of a sentence including the vocab. The first is mainstream. The pronunciation is mainstream. The translate is arus utama, meaning is refers to the prevailing currents of thought, culture, or activity that are accepted by the majority of a population. It describes ideas, styles, and behaviors that are considered conventional, typical, or normal within a society. For example, this is the director's first mainstream Hollywood film. Second is rudimentary. The pronunciation is rudimentary. The translate is belum sempurna, meaning is refers to something very basic, elementary, or at the earliest stages of development. It typically describes simple things, lacks sophistication, or represents the fundamental principles of a subject. For example, her knowledge is still only rudimentary. Next is extruder. The pronunciation is extruder. The translate is belum sempurna, meaning is a manufacturing and processing machine that melts, mixes, and force raw materials like plastic, rubber, or food dough through a specialized shaped opening called a die to create conscious shapes. For example, the 3D printer's extruder melt thousands of tiny plastic pellets into a viscous goo to build the model. Next is framework. The pronunciation is framework. For the translate is kerangka, meaning is a basic conceptual structure, system of rules, or supporting blueprint used to guide the development of something, solve complex problems, or making decisions. For example, a legal framework for resolving disputes. Next is bending. The pronunciation is bending. The translate is pita, meaning is bending or often called Z bending or Z wobble. In 3D printing refers to the unwanted horizontal ridges, waves, or texture that appears on the vertical walls of a printed object. It occurs when layers do not stack perfectly evenly as the printers move up the z-axis. For example, the annoying bending on my 3D print is caused by a bent lead screw, causing the nozzle to wobble as it builds each layer. Next is distortion. The pronunciation is distortion. The translate is distorsi, meaning a change to the intent or true meaning of something, like distortion of a gross distortion of the fact. For example, nobody has challenged his distortions on education and the economy. Next is filament. The pronunciation is filament. Translated is filament. The meaning is a thin thread or fiber of nature or ethical artificial material. For example, toothbrushes should be replaced when the filaments become worn. Next is prototype. The pronunciation is prototype. The translate is prototype. The meaning is the first example of something, such as a machine or the industrial product from which all later forms are developed. For example, the prototype for this vehicle. Next is replenish. The pronunciation is replenish. The translation is mengisi kembali. The meaning is to fill something up again. For example, do you want a replenish for your meal? Next is overcome. The pronunciation is overcome. The translate is mengatasi. Meaning is to defeat or succeed in controlling or dealing with something. For example, eventually she managed to overcome her shyness in class. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.